Episode 7. Welcome aboard, peeps.
We're still trapped in that dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Trapped in ye old dungeon. Oh, fuck. Dude. I didn't think it could happen, but I'm fucking hooked to a hunting game.
Nice.
It's that fucking hunting simulator 2 or whatever. And, yeah, I've fucking just been grinding out. I have almost like 10 hours on the fucking thing already.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, dude. It's such a fucking rage game, though, too, because, like, there's it's got like 6 maps on it, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and couple of like three of them are like heavy terrain, and then the other three are kind of like almost like flat, but like a little bit of hilly and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and start fucking hunting, and I'm like, oh shit, there's some coyotes out here. Well, they're small and like in the tall grass, so I'm like, well, let me just see if I can hit them. I hit them, but it's not a fucking kill mark. It's just like a little, oh, you tagged them, and now they're gonna fucking run off.
Like in real
And then,
life.
yeah, but like, it's not like you have to like aim for major arteries and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that, and like head. And every time I aim for the fucking head, it just gives me like a little normal, like little hit mark instead of like the, oh, fuck, it just dropped dead. I'm
Well,
like,
because you're
bruh.
supposed to, I think you're supposed to shoot it in the heart or like the lungs.
Well, there's like a small point, like it'll give like a graph of like the major
Mm-hmm.
organs, and the brain is one of them.
Oh,
So I think if that you don't hit that hitbox directly where the fuck it's supposed to be at, it's not gonna fucking do
damn.
anything. And I'm like, bruh, this fucking stupid ass little coyote and red fox is running off, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger shit's easy.
Yeah, I imagine so. Bigger target.
Yeah, yeah, that's that, and doing some fucking Elder Scrolls Online again,
Oh, really?
opening up that can of fucking worms.
See, I
Got a
got.
coworker who was like, "Yeah, dude, you should totally hop on with us." And then fucking all of a sudden, here I am, 10 plus hours in already, within like a few days, almost like level 30, I think, at this point, grinding out. I'm like, bro,
Nice. I bought that like a long time ago when like one of the expansions came out. I bought like the whole collection. This was like several expansions ago now. And I played a little
yeah,
bit, and then I just never went back for whatever reason. I need it's one of those games I need to go and play more of.
yeah, it's one of those that's way better if you have people to play it with.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
well,
that was always my
yeah,
off
I
from
mean,
it, because
I,
like I would always be there by myself, and
mm-hmm,
then doing the storyline, I was like, all right, this is just kind of fucking boring, and it's taking forever to fucking level up,
mm-hmm,
and you don't really know the game that well, so you're just like, fuck it, like I'll go on a big ass
yeah.
hiatus.
I mean, I know I don't have people to play with because my cousin is in like a max level guild. So I, if I needed people to play with, I could just play with him and his people.
Oh my god,
They
yeah,
could they
there you
could
go.
hook me up.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my coworker did. Him and his other buddy are like past like champion level like
Mm-hmm.
500 and shit like that. So they set me up with some like high tier like training gear to like boost my fucking leveling up like big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did like some. There was like one arena that took like almost 2 hours to do, and he was like, "Wow, dude, imagine beating this at level 18." And
Damn.
I was like, "Yeah, bro, that's right." But yeah, that shit took like 2 hours, dude. It was a lot of fun, but fuck, like
Mm-hmm.
that's like some raid level time, bro.
Yeah, I remember those days back in Destiny, man. I mean, they got down shorter than that. You can knock them out kind of quickly, but that's like one of my highlights of my life in gaming is them Destiny raids, man. Destiny one,
Destiny.
Destiny one raids.
God.
Oh
R.I.P.
well.
Destiny.
Well, for us, I mean, people still play and they still update it and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
just
maybe the next one where they start from scratch. The Destiny two, I'm done. I'm not gonna go back to it. They keep updating and add more stuff to it, but I'm just so far behind.
I look at it as like I don't want to spend $60 on an expansion only for them to eventually get rid of it. It's
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean,
kind of like they did with most of the base game.
they did that with they did it with the base game, but like the first off, like the Beyond Light is what it's called. The is the new base game or whatever. That's free to play. Um, and the expansions, I don't think none of the expansions are that much, but that's things you can always just be like an expansion or two behind, and it'll be like half price. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like the stuff that I've played, it's all good, but I don't know. There's just something missing about when I was like first playing. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. I mean, I've got too many other things to play. It's always too many things to play. I mean, I'm getting
Yeah.
I'm getting there on Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I know that's been like a thing that I've said like the past couple weeks. But I'm actually like almost there. I finished all the side missions. I finished the last Majorat DLC, the Charles Dick and Charles Darwin DLC. All I got left is the Jack the Ripper DLC. So all like the actual like main game stuff that's in the main world is all done. Like I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go finish the collectibles. I'm not gonna go get all the chests and 100% I'm not gonna do all that. But I did all the missions, all the Queen's missions, all the Karl Marx missions, all the side character missions, all of them.
Yeah.
I just gotta play through the Jack the Ripper DLC, which it started off pretty good so far. I played like the first couple hours of it. It'd be cool to see where it goes. Um,
I never did finish that DLC.
mhm. I mean, the
Like
interest,
I started it, but it was like fucking years ago.
yeah.
I think it was like right when it fucking. Oh wait, no. I think I got it with the gold edition or the
Hmm.
deluxe edition that came with it. I can't remember, but yeah, I think I did like an hour into it, and
Hmm.
then the next Assassin's Creed game came out, and I was like, all
Oh,
right, cool.
yeah. I mean, it's cool. It has like the interesting like fear mechanics that are in it. I don't know if you remember that, where you could like scare your opponents and they'll run away.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And it was kind of cool
Yeah,
that you got to play as Jack for like a part of it. I mean, I haven't gotten to play as him again, so I assume you do, but I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
Um, but hopefully this weekend I can finish it off and just be done with it. Be done with that with the Assassin's Creed game, and then start fresh with Origins and start streaming again. That's the plan. Um, there is another game that I've been playing that I've kind of hooked on, just because it's like one of those games you just play real quick and easy. It's the
hmm
Pokemon TCG Live.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking Magic the Gathering needs to take a little lesson from the Pokemon Company on that, because every pack that you buy, like
Comes with the code,
physically,
yeah.
comes with the code
But you
that
see,
you can use
there
in the game.
there is a valid reason for them to do that. The game has no microtransactions. You cannot buy packs or anything. You cannot spend any real money on the game.
Yeah.
So other than leveling up, and they do have a battle pass, which you can't buy. There's this premium version of it, but you can't spend any real money to get it. You have to grind and get one of these currencies until you have enough of it to get the premium battle pass. But
Yeah.
if you want more cards, you have to go and buy physical cards. You do get
Yeah.
packs kind of regularly and kind of easily. Um, but the packs are smaller than the real packs of cards, which is kind of weird. Like you don't get as many, you
hmm
only get like 5 cards in them. But I mean, what is cool though is like any like pre-con decks you buy, you can load them straight into the game, and there's a couple
Yep.
like special packs that give you special cards and stuff. That's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which yeah,
Yeah,
I wish Magic did that.
I know a lot of like the people who do like the game competitively will go to like I can't remember the name of the site, but they'll buy like 200 plus of like the codes
Oh
and
yeah, I'm sure
everything,
there's a lot of people who sell the codes.
and they'll fucking just throw them all in. That way they have like all the fucking new shit and
Yeah, I
whatever
mean it is one way to
fucking
do it.
it's got.
But that's the thing is, I
And
wonder how much people sell those for though. Like it's got. I mean the Pokemon packs are only like $5.
Yeah, I think the cards I would imagine
I mean,
for
they they
maybe
they they
less than a
they'd
dollar.
okay. Let's say that's the case, and that's not that bad because I'm about to say like if they're like close or anywhere close in price to like a pack of cards, you might as well just fucking buy like some booster boxes or something. Like
Yeah, no, it's a lot cheaper if you're planning on just doing like
yeah,
fucking uh the
which actually
live game or whatever.
you could barely see the silhouette of my elite trainer box right there.
Yee.
But yeah, I've been playing it and I got my deck kind of loaded in, and as well, I like is that I've been able to modify it, sorta, and try and pretty much play test it without actually having to like make it fully because the precon, it's my the deck I have now is so different from what the precon is. Um, and there's certain things that I know I want to change, but like playing it a bunch and figuring out like the weaknesses of it is interesting. Because
Mhm.
what's weird, so there's like a bunch. There's like you get like eight. There's like eight pre-constructed decks on the game, and I just go play casual. I don't play the competitive mode. I just play the casual mode. And so mostly people
Yeah.
are using these pre-made decks. And only one of them gives me problems for a specific reason. So the deck that I play is Deoxys V Star. Typed it up over here. Yeah, it's Deoxys V. I have three of those in the deck, and I have a one max and one V Star evolutions form. And then I have Gardevoir, like all three evolutions of that from routes up to Gardevoir. Two sets of those, and then two sets of this card called Shadow Rider Calyrex V.
Mm.
That's a V card and has a V Max upgrade. Those are like that's all the Pokemon I have in that deck. It's all psychic. Um, the two main the Gardevoir's mainly its attack is okay, but the main reason it's there is it has an ability that I could use while it's on the bench to just look at the
Yeah.
top two cards, pretty much draw. I could draw the top two cards in my deck, and if any of them are energies, I could play them immediately. So it's like for like mana ramp, and if they're not, then I just draw them. Um, but the other two are that are mainly using are the V Max V Star.
Yeah.
How Pokemon the one coming from Magic to Pokemon. This is a weird mechanic that I find, but it's how you play. Is instead of having life, both players take six cards out of their deck, and that's prize cards.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then every Pokemon you defeat of your opponents is a prize card you get. If it's a V Pokemon,
Yeah.
and then
Two.
once you get all six of your prize cards, then you won. Or if you
Yeah.
knocked out, if they have no more Pokemon on the bench, that can happen. That happened to me once or twice. Um, if it's a Pokemon V, you get two, and if it's a V Max, you get three. Two of the
Yeah.
main Pokemon I use are V Maxes, and but that's like all my main damage dealing is all V Pokemon. The Gardevoir is just kind of there for the ability to have another Pokemon. Um,
Hmm.
this one of the precons, the main Pokemon in it, it's called Decidueye. It's like this grass
Yeah.
type bird Pokemon. It
Yeah.
has an active ability that it cannot be damaged by Pokemon V or GX cards at all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
It's like
Yeah, that's a good one.
that, and then it has two of the other Pokemon, at least one, if not two of the other Pokemon in the deck, can have abilities that can like tag your bench Pokemon for like light damage, like every turn, pretty much for like 20 damage here or 10 damage here, like
Mhm.
every turn. And that's like the only deck that's other than like people who've actually went out of their way to make like a decent deck and play on casual. That's the only deck that's giving me issues. It's so fucking annoying. And like the last time I came up against it, I was doing actually really well against it. All things considered, because I
Mhm.
do have cards that let me like switch their Pokemon with their bench Pokemon and stuff, and like I could switch mine around and all that. I have a lot of cards that one of the main themes in my deck is card draw. Is get the cards out of my deck into my hand so I can do what the fuck I want. And I have a lot
Yeah.
of copies of cards, which I just changed it to make it to where I have a less variety of cards and more copies of them of the what cards I have. So it's just a more consistent deck. And I I milled myself. I ran out of cards, bro. And see, I have a card that counters that. That if I would have noticed, I ran out of cards. Because that's the thing is, I didn't. It only happened one time. I didn't notice I ran out of cards. I have a card that pretty much that doesn't prevent it, but it can save me, at least buy me time. And that
Yeah.
is you shuffle your hand back into your deck and you draw 5 cards. Pokemon, if you didn't know, does not have a hand limit.
Yeah.
I had
No.
like 12 cards, 12 or 15 cards in my hand, which is not the most cards I've had in my hand. I had over 20 cards in a game I won the other day in my hand.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah. No, it doesn't have a hand limit at
that
all.
which I didn't know that until I was just playing it, and I was like, oh shit, I can have more than 7 cards in my hand. Oh, this is sweet.
Mhm.
That being said, if you draw a shitty hand, if you have a basic Pokemon in it, it won't let you mulligan, which is annoying. You only mulligan if you have no basic Pokemon. That's messed me up because I've like once or twice drew a hand that had a basic Pokemon in it, and I had a shitty fucking hand. I couldn't do shit. I was so annoying.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Pokemon is. It can be brutal. It can be
I mean,
brutal.
I've like one of the main things I noticed that it's a pretty basic game compared to like Magic. Magic can get
Yeah.
very complex, and it's very rare.
Yeah.
Like I've not come against like just like looking through the cards available, because they do give you a good variety card. And like I've been buying some cards, so I've been getting like some packs and stuff, and kind of leveling up on the game. So I've gotten some packs and a kind of decent little variety of cards, and you can just go look through all the cards in the game too. Because one of the currencies you get, you could use to just buy like any card that's in the game.
Mhm.
And like I've kind of looked through, and there's not as much things you could do as you can in Magic. Like Magic just has so many things you could do. It's like infinite possibility. Whereas Pokemon's a little more. I've noticed it's a little more limited, and some of the things you would want to do often have a consequence to it. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of abilities I saw that like involve discarding the energies off your Pokemon and stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me just doesn't seem like when I compare like the fact that your energy is like your mana, to me that's like not a thing I want to do. Especially when some of my Pokemon, their attacks are their strength of the attack is based on how many energies I have on my Pokemon. That Shadow Rider Calyrex, the VMAX version of it, its main attack does 30 damage for every psychic energy on all of my Pokemon. I've done over like 450 damage with it. It gets fucking really strong later in the game if I've gotten energy, because its ability is that if I have it like after I play on my energy return, I can, if I have another psychic energy in my hand, I can use its ability and just play it on one of my bench Pokemon. So I can add, so right there I can add 2 psychic energies. I hope that noise did not pick up on the fucking recording. Fucking ran. Ah, no, 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 no. Damn it. Okay. Well, fuck it. It happened.
Uh-huh.
I clicked on the notification. I missed the X to close it out, and it opened up an app in front of the screen. But that's okay. I'll leave it in. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I was playing it earlier.
Yeah.
It is fun though when I come across people who concede. Yeah, that always
Yeah.
feels nice when they just give up.
Yeah. That's gonna be a lot of the game, especially when you start playing like online or in the competitive scene.
Well, that's what I'm playing is online. I'm not playing competitive. I'm playing casual. But yeah, I'm just playing. I don't think that you can. I don't know if you can really play against AI. I've only noticed that it's just like I just go and play and just casual against different people.
I know the older one you could do against AI. I'm not sure
You
about the
probably
newer.
you probably can. I ain't worried about it. I've got my deck pretty consistent, at least as far as how it plays. It's just I have had a few times where the card draw wasn't as good as I would have liked it. I need to get more of those. I think they're just called credits that you could use to buy like like extra copies of cards and stuff. I need to grind out some more of those so I can get some copies of other cards that I need, so I could fix that. Yeah, it's been
Oh
like
yeah.
I actually like know how to play Pokemon TCG now from playing it.
Welcome aboard, son. Yeah, I was going through my fucking decks and everything, and I thought I only had the two decks,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, wait a minute, like, what the fuck is this deck box that I have under here? And I'm like holding it, and I'm like, this feels heavy, like it's like a sleeve deck or whatever. And I open it, and I'm like, holy fuck, I totally forgot I had this deck. It
Nice.
was just a little structured deck that I had just stuffed away.
Mm-hmm.
that's never been fucking played. And I'm like, ah, so that explains where the other coin came from of that Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to. There's specific cards that I know I need of that. I need to get another other copies of those Deoxys V Star and V Max cards for my physical decks. I only have one, like one of each, and
Hmm.
they only sell them. They're not in like the regular set of like packs. They're in the Deoxys V special box or whatever. And which I bought one of those. I was gonna buy another one of them, and I can't fucking find it nowhere. They've already like come out with the next ones or whatever since I bought the that, and it's not like at the stores anymore. So I was gonna order it on Amazon. There was two listings for it on Amazon. One which was kind of higher. There was one that was a higher price and one that was a lower price. I was getting ready to hit buy purchase it on the lower price one until I realized scrolling through the pictures that there was two different boxes that were showing, and that's because it's 50-50 of which one you get. And I wasn't about to spend like $30 to see if I got a fucking like what I needed or what I didn't. So, because I was hoping to buy the box because I think the box gives you those three promo cards on the game. So I was gonna do that so I could get it on both. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to buy the card singles. They're only like a couple. They're only like $3-4. I'll have to get those and some other cards. Like once I actually like figure out if I get my deck pretty good, I eventually want to get Jordan in it since he knows a lot and see like get him to look at it, see what he thinks, and maybe play it against a couple more of Michael's decks because we only played like two games like when I first downloaded it, and
Hmm.
I think I beat him both times. But he said like one of his decks was a pretty shitty deck. He hadn't really tested out at all. And of course, the first one might have just been like beginner's luck. So I kind of want to see, especially how different it is now from when he played against it. Because
Yeah.
I think when I played him, I just did like the basic structure. I don't think I even went through it and like changed anything. Oh, I had to add the extra copy of Deoxys V and then the Deoxys V Max and V Star. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I got some of my Duraludon deck that I'm working on.
mm,
I need to get the RCS cards, RCSV and RCSV star for it,
mm,
and then just get like the little items and fucking trainers and energies that I need. And that's usually the fucking inexpensive shit. Like 90% of the deck is gonna be inexpensive because of those little items, and unless you decide to like bling them out with like full arts and shit like that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, at the last time I checked, like RCS, I think it was either V or V Star was like $10 for each, and I'm like, fuck.
Mm,
I can't remember the amount that I needed, but I did. Actually, I think I have it right over here. All my fucking cards for Pokemon, at least. Let's see.
shout out to our fan Jordan, who's excited that we're talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, Drulodon VMAX. I got two of them in. So the cool thing with his is his ability Skyscraper. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have special energy attached to it,
You see,
which
I do
does
use special
really well.
energy on my deck.
Does Yeah, and yeah, it's super dope. He's kind of slow to get out at first, but I think that's why people run him with Arceus to kind of like speed up
Mm-hmm.
the process a little bit. Um, but yeah, his G Max pulverization does 220 for three total mana, one fighting type and two steel. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. I don't know what even, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, but I think, oh, where did I have it at? Because I got some of the Duraludon V's in as well,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a few different types, I think. I don't even know if these are, yeah, this is them. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Let's see. I got a play set of old boy right here. I'll actually see if I can't.
Yeah,
Which I think he's
I'm gonna grab
can't
some
remember
too.
if he's the main one or if it's this guy right here.
So right here behind me, my Deoxys V Star,
Deoxys, yeah.
which as you can see, it's the big one, the big boy. Which I have like the normal size one. Yeah, he's
Hell
coming.
yeah.
He's coming handy. I don't know which one I like more, him or the V Max. I don't know. They both are. He at least has the V power, the V Star power, where at 60 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon.
Uh,
Which I mean, usually I'll have at least three, so I could do his Psychic Javelin, which is 190 damage, 60 damage to one, and does 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched V. It has to be a V Pokemon, but of course, that deck that I hate, the City Eye, doesn't have any V Pokemon in it at all.
oh yeah.
So that means I have to kill 6 of his Pokemon in order to beat him. And it has a lot, and it has 4 full evolution sets of that City Eye, plus like 2 or 3 other Pokemon that it can evolve. It's aggravating.
Yeah. And probably the best character from Sword and Shield, Marnie.
What
She
does
was the
that?
coolest.
What does that one do?
So this one, each player shuffles their hand and puts it on the
Okay.
bottom of their deck. If either player puts any cards on the bottom of their deck in this way, you draw 5 cards and your opponent draws 4.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't. I thought about using that one, but I prefer the one that I have that. Which I mean that can come in handy, I guess, because depending on what your opponent has, if my opponent's been popping off, then they could fuck up their hand and their plan. But the card that I do use is the one where it just shuffles mine and lets me draw 5 cards. That helps me out in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
Or
Which
if I'm
I don't even know if I'm gonna put her
mm-hmm.
in the deck. I just got a playset of her because she's probably my favorite character from Sword and Shield.
Oh, well, there you go.
Uh, but yeah, I know she. I don't know if it's getting rotated out already, but she was heavily used in certain decks for the competitive scene. Some of my top tier decks
Mm-hmm.
too. And I think Fog Crystal I got a playset of, and that one's used pretty fucking heavily.
Yeah,
Which
I
that
have a lot of draw and energy draw, so I don't need to put that into my deck.
yeah
I mean, it would make perfect sense to go on my deck because it's a psychic only deck, so it'll make perfect sense.
yeah
But I don't know that sometimes I need just general card draws. Like some of the cards I have are just general card draw, like draw 3 cards. I have a playset of that in there. Um,
yeah
but then some of them are like some of the cards will let me just pull either like specifically evolution type Pokemon. Some of them pull basic type Pokemon. Some of them pull any Pokemon. Some of them pull just energy. So some of the ones I have are more flexible and let me pull what I need to pull. Because there's been times where I don't have enough energy. Well, it's not actually I've never had not enough energy. It's I've in order to like really do what I want to do, I need more of the psychic energy, not my special energies that I have, so that I can because all my most of my attacks that I have that are based on the energies are based off of psychic energies. Like the more of those I have, the stronger it is. Um,
oh yeah
like Gardevoir's attack, you can use 3 of energy, but it gets stronger for every psychic energy you have on Gardevoir. So, and
okay
then the Shadow Rider Calyrex, his whole ability for the VMAX is it has to be a basic psychic energy that you could put onto your bench Pokemon. So like I could play like one of my I don't know I have horror energy that and what are those? I have like powerful energy and capture energy that I'll play for that from my hand for turn and then use that to put down a psychic energy or if I have enough psychic energy in my hand I'll play like 2 or 3 psychic energies in a turn with like the cards I have. It's comes in handy.
yeah 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 I need to look up the deck list for my shit again
Hmm. I mean,
to
honestly, I should be looking up actual deck list. I've kind of just been just figuring it out. I'm sure I could
yeah
find. I'm sure I could go online and say, "Hey, what's a good Deoxys deck?" and find something probably completely different than what I've been playing.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that and it's probably gonna go out of rotation because I know the base set for Scarlet and Violet is getting ready to come out, or it's already out. I don't remember,
I don't know.
but it wasn't too exciting of a set because it's kind of the start of a new era,
Mm-hmm.
really, and everybody was. I mean, Scarlet and Violet, the game alone, has put a bad taste in a lot
Oh,
of the
really?
Pokemon fan base's mouth. It is. So when I say this game was broken
Mm-hmm.
on release, it was in a worse state than fucking Cyberpunk.
Really?
Yeah. So like
Hmm.
each of like the areas, so like people were clipping through walls and shit constantly. Any battle scene that you could possibly have out in the wilderness for the most part, or actually all of them, you would clip under the ground.
Damn.
The graphics wouldn't load in right. People wouldn't load in. Like some people would look like some characters would look like a fucking strobe light depending how far in and out you got.
Damn, bro, that sounds exactly like how when I played Cyberpunk on launch day.
It,
Or very shortly after, before they updated
yeah,
it, ever updated it.
I think a lot of the reason why it was so fucking rushed is because everything that's Pokemon related that new that has to come out relies on the release of the video game because they can't release like Scarlet and Violet TCG until the fucking video game's been out or
Really?
plushies or anything like that. They have to wait on like the main video game, including the animes and shit like
I
that.
didn't see. I didn't know all that. I mean,
Yeah,
I figured it all came out around the same time anyway.
yeah.
Because I
But
mean, why
everything
wouldn't you?
relies, yes, everything
But the
relies
game has to come
solely
out
on that
first.
fucking game. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of shit to try and keep organized.
yeah. So that, I think they were just kind of like at the deadline, and then they were like, "Well, we have to get this out as soon as possible, or else we can't get any of the other shit out as
Hmm.
well."
Well, and
And
that's the thing is
kind
they
of like
probably
did the
can't.
water.
I mean, when it, like especially like something like a trading card game, like and any type of thing that needs to be manufactured, like you can't stop that. Like once it has to go into production so early on that like you can't just like oh we're gonna have to hold this for a few months while they finish the game. Like it's just like something like like a fucking trading card like
Yeah.
like that has to be so far planned in advance because it all needs to be especially if they're doing. I mean, it all needs to be play tested, designed. All the artwork needs to be done. It needs to be go into print and packaging and all that type of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that go into making a fucking card game.
Yeah. Which I know with like Magic the Gathering, they're like 2 years ahead. Um, but the
Technical difficulties are fun.
fun times, dude. Gotta love it when a screen freezes up and then you just
And it's
talk into
connection.
a slideshow.
It's connection stuff.
Yeah. But fuck, where did I leave off at? I don't even remember.
That Magic's like a couple years ahead as far as like but we don't know how like we don't necessarily know how far like Pokemon is ahead of like release as far as designing. I
Uh,
mean, I'd imagine it's similar. They're probably a couple years.
I'm yeah, I'm sure the Pokemon Company, like the TCG teams and the video game teams, have to like correlate and everything with like
Mm-hmm.
artists and like what's going on with the fucking whole
Mm-hmm.
storyline and shit like that and the type of
Well,
Pokemon,
it's
obviously.
probably because I imagine they do all their production in house, so it's probably like the team that makes and comes up with all the Pokemon, comes up with all the Pokemon, and like I guess they figure out what it does in the game, and as they're doing that, that information gets passed on to the TCG. Which I mean, once like they design the Pokemon, and they figure out okay, and for all we know, they could figure out mechanically what the Pokemon does, and then come up with the name and design for it after the fact. Because if that's the case, then that makes making the game making both the game and the trading card game easier because then you can go okay card because you could have like you could play test card psychic Pokemon number 12 uh
Right.
with a hand drawn stick figure and playtest all the mechanics and what it does, and then whoever does the character designs is like that Pokemon is Deoxys, and he's this red and blue purple dude with tentacle arms. And then there you go.
Right.
Now you have art for it.
Yeah. But another thing going on with the fucking TCG. So Kadabra is actually making a comeback for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that, yeah, he had a 20-year absence.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And that was having to do with like, I guess like lawsuit issues and everything with the artist and the Pokemon company.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So the Kadabra artist, like he said something and he was like, yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets ever. And I'm like, 20 years late, bro. I
So
mean,
that's the third evolution.
yes, I believe so.
Or no, he has three. He has three. That's just in general because there's another Pokemon that's similar. I'm not the Pokemon expert, so I don't fucking know. But I feel like there's another one that's similar design that I see is in the game, but it only has two evolutions.
Oh, Alakazam. There's Alakazam and let me see. I'm trying to like just fucking eyeball this shit. Yeah, you got Kadabra, Alakazam. I think Alakazam is the final form.
Mm,
That sounds right.
I have to.
Alakazam. Let me see. Oh,
Yeah, it is Alakazam.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam. I'm
Yep.
thinking of just like a completely different Pokemon that I'm just thinking of something completely different. Anyway,
Yep. That do be it.
yeah. So moving from one game to another, got some Warhammer stuff to talk about.
Hmm.
Uh, just two little things. Well, yeah, I guess they're both kind of little. Progress on my army. I've painted and almost fully assembled a 10-man squad of assault intercessors. That's the guys with
And
bolt pistols and chain swords. Which,
fuck yeah.
it's all black. You can't see shit.
I actually can't see shit out of their way. Frozen up on my screen.
So, fuck. I don't care. I'm showing like the camera just in general. But
We're flying blind tonight, peeps.
you're flying blind. Everyone else can see because it's recorded on my end. So to them, I've never frozen once, and you freeze every time.
Shit. R.I.P.
Terrible lighting is terrible. Anyway, I got them all primed. Most of them only have one arm attached because the way they're holding the other arm is like in front of the chest, and then it's gonna make shit hard to paint. So I just left that not glued. And none of their heads are attached because uh they're going to be painted yellow. So I primed them white.
Mhm.
So to make it
Okay.
easier, well, so I could just prime them a different color. I didn't attach them. I'm gonna paint the neck a little bit black, and then the helmet's gonna be yellow, because that's what when you do Space Marines, they have certain iconography that determines like what part of the like for their army organization. Uh, and Blood Angels don't use the symbols; they use the color of their helmet, which
Yeah.
gets kind of weird when there's like double meaning for some of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because like uh, I forget. I have to. Is my codex by me? Let me go grab my codex real quick.
Word.
Do, 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 do.
There we go.
Alrighty. Do, 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 do. Yeah, so there's battle line, close support, fire support, and veterans and command.
All right.
So battle line they just stay with the regular red helmet. Close support, which would be like the assault intercessors, they fall under close support, and so some other units I have get a yellow helmet. Fire support, which would be like I have like eradicators and I think heavy intercessors and stuff. Which I have a squad of heavy intercessors get a blue helmet, and then veterans get gold helmets, and you could put like other gold accents on them and stuff. And command also get
Yeah.
gold, so that's where like the double meaning comes in. So it could be their command or they're just veteran squads. Whereas a lot of the other like just general Space Marines, there's like different symbols. Which actually gotta grab one. Yeah. So battle lines usually it's just like a straight arrow. Close support's like 4 arrows. Fire support and veteran. It's all these four symbols here that you
Mm.
probably can't see, but they can see them on the YouTube. Just because it's little and you're on a phone. Um, yeah. And so instead of using those, I just paint their helmets different colors. Than just
Oh, okay.
than just them all having red helmets, which it adds a little bit of other color to there and makes everything pop a little better. So it's kind of cool.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna paint those this weekend if I have time. But the other thing with Warhammer, uh,
Making making some progress on that army, son.
yes sir, got to, and those with that'll be a kill team.
Oh shit.
So I'll have like a painted kill team for Space Marines. So some Warhammer news, an announcement made earlier today, as of recording this. There's going to be a small price increase.
Mm.
Not for a little while though. They did give us a. It's not a. First of all, it's not a big one. It's not on everything, and they gave us a decent heads up. March 6th is when it's going to go into effect. Um, it's
The day
only
before my birthday.
damn. It's they said it's averaging like 6% across the board on the things it's affecting.
Uh-huh.
So it's not huge. I mean, obviously, when you're talking about like higher price stuff, that is like it's several dollars, but um, it's only going to affect. Of course, the main thing it's going to affect is the plastic miniatures and the resin miniatures from Forge World and the Citadel resin miniatures for plastic miniatures, and then they have like two or three. They have like three different lines of brushes. It's going to affect two of them: the standard and artificer brushes, which I don't know if these are. I think these are just standard. I don't know if these are part of the artificer, but it's like the black handled brushes that they make.
Oh
Says the
yeah.
Citadel on them. It's not going to affect the synthetic brushes they make, which I do have one of those. It's like synthetic STC brush, where it's white. The tip's like pink and red because Blood Angels are red.
Yeah.
Um, what else is it gonna? That's pretty much all it's gonna affect. Oh yeah, spray cans, like the spray can primers and the spray can colors.
Uh
It's like
yeah.
this, which these are already kind of pricey. They're already like $18, maybe a little
Smoke.
more. I mean, a lot of the companies
Jeez.
make them. Um, but it's not going to affect any starter sets, any paint sets, any paints, any of their other tools. The synthetic brush is not going to affect any of the books. Um, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's like 6%, which I kind of did the math. It's see weird. It's a weird number, so it'd be weird to see how that actually like how they if they do a straight 6% or because the example they gave, because obviously it's a British company, so they're talking in pounds. An example they gave was uh, Sisters of Battle Squad is gonna. It's like 30 something pounds, and it's gonna go up $1, like a pound 50. Well, that doesn't really translate that great to USD because
No.
well, based off the conversion rate, if the Sisters of Battle Squad is like 30 something bucks, 30 something pounds, it should only be like 40, $45 US, like $45 US. It's sixty
Yeah.
dollars. It's $60 US. So it's going up like 360 or something weird like that. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make it. Let's see, what did I put? Like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it 6360. That's a weird price for stuff. So it wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me if they just
Weird.
rounded up to like 65.
Probably.
And they'll probably do that like with all like the $60 kits. Probably go up like $5, which I mean that's closer to 10%. Or no, what would that be? Yeah, because 10% would be $6. So that's like I don't know. That's something percent anyway. Yeah, that sucks. Now the one thing to keep in mind, that's off of MSRP or and their MAP. So if you're ordering stuff on, well, it's gonna affect that. It's gonna affect it no matter where you buy it. But just, which I don't know how much you know this, local game shops and stuff and third party retailers can
Hmm.
actually sell stuff cheaper, and they usually do, than Games Workshop does if you buy it direct from
Yeah.
them. Um, they're still going to go up in price, but it'll still be cheaper, so that shouldn't change. And actually, the place where I usually go, it goes back and forth. Some stuff's a little cheaper, some stuff's not as cheaper, some stuff's kind of the same price as the website. But the store that I go to, they actually include the sales tax in the price on the sticker price on the box. So when you're looking at the shelf and you see something's like $170 and you go to check out, it's going to be $170. They don't add like most stores out here in the U.S. They add like it's almost like 10% where we live
Yeah.
sales tax. So it's like if you grab multiple things, you have an idea of about what you're going to spend, but you don't really know. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I think we're the only country that does that. I think we're.
yeah, we're one of there's only like a couple that do that. But yeah, it's so weird. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the store I go to, they don't. They include it in the it's included in the sticker, which is pretty cool. Which I mean, I think that's kind of why their sticker prices are closer and not as different from the websites. Because I think I was reading online, what it is that Games Workshop, if you're a retailer, will sell you all their products at like 55% of whatever they're selling it at. So
Yeah.
if they're selling something for $100, retailers can buy it for $55, and then they can. I think they have what's called a minimum something price where it has to be at least so much, but it usually comes down to where most places it's like 15% cheaper or something like that,
Hmm.
and it just depends on where they put their markup at. Like it's usually like 35%. So it's just something to keep in mind. Um,
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. That's. Yeah. I kind of figured there was going to be a price increase, though. I mean,
mhm,
that's happening with like fucking
everything. Well, yeah,
everything now.
that's what they said. It's happening with everything, with just raw plastic and shipping and everything. It's going up. So they said that they tried to keep it as low as possible. Which I mean, 6%,
Yeah.
and it's not across the board. It's not too bad. I
Yeah. I was
mean,
gonna say. It's yeah.
of course
That's actually a lot better
you're going to
than
notice it with the more expensive stuff. The cheaper
yeah.
stuff you're not going to notice. And like they said, the starter kits they're still going to keep them at whatever price the starter kits are at. Of
Yeah.
course, that depends on what is considered a starter kit. I would
Yeah.
assume the combat patrols and
Yeah, I would.
are
Yeah, combat patrols are probably like the
um
closest thing, other
that
than like the kid
they do
games.
have actuals like a ninth edition starter box set. And there's like the $50 version, $100 version, $150 version. And like the Dominion box that I bought for Age of Sigmar, that would be a starter kit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if like I think so. I think the those like two those like what are they, like Strike Force boxes and stuff that they're doing for all the Space Marine chapters, and like those like $200 like kind of bigger than the Star Collector box. I think those might count. I'm not
Okay.
sure. And then hopefully I'm hoping the Kill Team boxes, like the ones that come with the two kill teams and terrain. I hope those count because Saturday I'm going to go pre-order the new Kill Team box with the Adeptus Arbites and Drukari, uh, and probably the Imperial Naval Breachers that's going pre-order the same day. I just got to make sure that it's cool because I don't actually know how long. I think a lot of stuff with Warhammer you pre-order it and then the next week it comes out. I think it's like that fast once they say like the pre-order's coming. Um, if that's the case, I'm gonna check with the store see if it's okay if I come and like because I'm just gonna put like $100 down or whatever on it and then see if it's cool because I get paid the following Tuesday after the next weekend. Like so, like a week in 2 days or whatever, I get paid again. So I was gonna see if like could I just come on like Tuesday or Wednesday and just pay the rest off then. Just
Yeah.
to save a couple. Just just split it between two paychecks. That'd be pretty cool. If they say that yes, then I'm definitely gonna pre-order both, and that'd be pretty sweet. It's more stuff I gotta put together and paint, but that'll give me
Yeah.
that'll give us technically at that point, especially if these guys are done and you include the fucking Necron warriors that I have, that'll
Yeah.
be different kill teams that I have, and kill team terrain for boarding action that we could use for like both 40k and kill team. So we'll be pretty
We're set.
set to play. I'll have to like I'll have the data cards for those the Drukari kill team and the Arbides kill team. I'll have to get the book that has the Imperial Breachers kill team because they aren't in the Codex book for kill team because they released them later on. Uh, and they didn't have older models to begin with, so that they have a book because they have a book that has all the stuff that they released over the past year of new kill teams. That's like the Kill Team 2022 whatever book. It's got like a bunch of like other kill teams that aren't in the book. So that'd be pretty cool. I'll have to get all that together and then we'll have to get meet up and play and bust out your camera and record it and stuff and put it on YouTube.
Mm, that's right. Gonna have to duke it out on 40K, son.
We'll have to
Oh,
do a video of us trying to figure out how to fuck to play and playing wrong.
yeah. Yeah. If there's anybody who's watching this and whenever we record that, chill the fuck out.
Fucking
Just a heads up.
nah,
We have
don't comment on the video. I want those comments, bro. I want that comment section popping.
just
And
fucking
we won't
just
know if we're
all
doing it
in.
wrong unless
Yeah,
someone tells us.
you're right. You're right. But in the sense of like, I'm talking like
Oh,
super like,
don't call us the R word.
yeah. Something that's not gonna get us nixed on the fucking on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Ah, it's fine.
Which I don't even know if we can get flagged for somebody commenting something like that on
I think if we
us.
don't do anything about it,
Yeah. I
but
think it's
also
like
we have it set to where anything that could have that setting turned on for if it's like
full potential like
yeah.
offensive shit or whatever, yeah.
Um.
So good luck, buds.
Speaking of buying stuff, I've been buying stuff. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about soon is like collections and stuff like that. Just like collections that we have and all that. Uh, this is kind of part of that, or like a preview into that. I've added to my movie collection. I fucking love movies, and over the years, I've noticed there's a lot of like classic older movies and stuff that are like big important movies that I haven't seen or haven't seen all of or whatever. It's been forever since I've seen them, so I've been buying movies and stuff to add to my collection so I can watch them and all that. And it turned, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but recently a Second and Charles location opened up not that far from here. And so I went,
Mm. Oh
and they
yeah.
had a buy two get two free sale on DVDs and Blu-rays. So I was able to pick up a couple things. I got which they're used, but I mean the discs look pretty all right. Like some of the cases are kind of beat up, which I don't really care for, but it's whatever. These are some of these are movies that I might not have bought new copies of necessarily. So I got Dunkirk,
Ooh, yeah.
Goddamn, 4K. I've seen it. It was pretty good. So I like more movies. So it'll be nice to
Hell yeah.
add to like next to like my 1917 and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
This movie I saw a long time ago, and it's a classic movie that I remember I enjoyed. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm looking
I've got
forward
that
to when
in
I get.
my fucking thing as well.
I'm looking forward to rewatching that pretty soon. It's
That is
funny,
probably such an underrated film. Such an
mm-hmm.
underrated film.
And this, which I've seen all of these movies. I got a movie collection here. I've seen all of them, and it's not all the one. There's more movies to this series, but they're kind of considered lesser, so I ain't worried about it. Uh, Terminator 1 through 4, collector box,
Ooh, shit.
fancy
Hell yeah.
Blu-ray, fucking super foldy. So Terminator 1, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation. I like Terminator Salvation. I like that it's
I
been
enjoyed that
some
one. I
time.
really did too. Like, I get where people were griping about it,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, that was a fucking. The production of that movie was dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Honestly, and part of the reason why a lot of people say they don't like it is, while it didn't do as good as it could have, was because that was the movie that had the whole controversy with Christian Bale freaking out on set.
oh yeah, that's
That's
right, where
why.
he was like yelling at the light guy or
Yeah.
whatever.
And then the last thing that
Yeah.
I got, which normally I don't, when I like to buy movies and stuff, I like to get Blu-rays just because they're just higher resolution, they're cleaner. DVDs, like of course, when I was a kid, that was the better stuff was the DVD. But ever since I switched to Blu-rays, like I don't like going back, but I do make exceptions from time to time because there are some things that just don't have Blu-ray releases. Most old classic movies that if it's like a big movie that people want to watch, even if it's a cult movie like Big Trouble in Little China, has Blu-ray releases, but some stuff, particularly in the anime realm, just obscure, not super popular stuff, just doesn't have it. So I have the original Blame OVA. I think that's what it is. It's the original OVA. Uh, this is a pretty dope series. I have the first couple volumes of it. I've been needing to get the rest of it at some point. It was considered by a lot of people it's one of those unadaptable kind of anime or manga. Most of the series has almost no dialogue or words just at all because it's mostly just following the main character that's on the cover here, just going through this crazy future dystopia world, and he's on a quest, and it's kind of, I mean, there is some talking here and there, um, but it's a lot of just awesome art, visual
Yeah.
storytelling, and his art is the way it's drawn is kind of not hard to will be hard to animate. But this came out in like the '90s or something. I don't know. I don't actually know if this is like the whole OVA or like what this is because it's called Blame version .011 salvage disc by Chibo. So I'll see what the fuck this actually is when I go to watch it. I have to look it up to see what it actually is. It was
Yeah,
only
I like what that is.
it was only a couple bucks. I mean, most of the stuff I got was a couple bucks. So this was like going to be like one of the free things. So I was like, fuck it, it's going to be free because the buy two
Yeah.
get two free. So I was like, shit, I'll add that so I can watch it because this will probably be hard. This is probably hard to find online anyway.
Oh yeah, probably.
And there was a few like years ago, like fucking 6 or so plus years ago, Netflix did a Blame animated movie. It's produced on Netflix. That's pretty good. And they announced they were doing a second one, and there's been no news for like 5 or 6 years. I feel like it was like 2017 or something when that came out, and it was fucking good. And of course they made some changes, but it's still fucking dope as fuck. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna grab one of the volumes so you can kind of see the art and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And what's cool is it's one of the ones that come in like a larger format for these master editions.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can just see like the
That.
character design right there. It's fucking sick. And this guy,
Oh yeah.
this guy's done a bunch of other like kind of well-known series. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of Knights of Sidonia.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's I think it's another like CG anime that's on. Oh yeah, the Netflix version CG anime. But it's another like CG anime that's on Netflix. Let me see if I can just like find something
Yeah.
like,
Oh shit.
and like it,
That's fucking
it's just like
nuts.
crazy cyborgs, and like if you're just into like science fiction and like honestly this would fit in like a grim dark, like honestly this would fit like in Warhammer, to be honest. And like you see like just every once in a while there's some dialogue, and like he comes across like other people, but most of the series from what I understand is kind of him just mostly by himself. Oh yeah, yeah, this is common where there'll be like a whole page or two just like scenery spread.
God damn.
I've been really needing to get the other. I only have the first two volumes. There's like 10, I think,
Hmm. Okay.
and I
Yeah.
just need to get.
I was gonna say that Blame's an older series, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean the fucking DVD. That's from like the '90s, bro.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was like early 2000s or like
I think it's. I
90s.
think it's '90s. I mean, it might be. I could be talking out of my ass here. Um,
If somebody knows, leave a comment below, please.
see if it says anything. But I definitely been meaning to get those and add those. I mean, I hope that's to be able to watch that stuff. Is pretty cool.
Hmm.
High recommendation though is to get that manga and read it. And definitely get those editions because those are really nice editions. Because it's, I mean, it's the same quality as like most regular manga is, but it's just that large scale format.
Yeah.
It's just really good art. Um, yeah. Oh, and I did. So I got those, and then I did make an order on Amazon, which is coming in tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I got a couple more movies showing up. Where the fuck did I put it? Where the fuck did I put it on my notes? I have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
lot of classic. There's a couple genres of classic movies that I really want to add. Kind of probably focus mostly on my collection, and one of them is westerns. I do kind of like old like spaghetti westerns, those Italian westerns. Like that's like the most of the Clint Eastwood movies like that. And
Yeah.
that's one that I know I've seen some of. I know I've seen like the iconic stuff from like this like the end scene where it's all the three guys and their final duel, but I've never watched the whole movie. So
Oh, okay.
I got that on Blu-ray coming, and then I have another genre of movies that I like to collect: old school samurai movies, Japanese samurai movies, or just old Japanese movies. You know, you can include like Godzilla, obviously, because I got like all those. But I ordered. I have a couple. I have Hidden Fortress, the Samurai Trilogy, Sanjuro and Yojimbo, and I ordered Harakiri, which is
Yeah.
another part of the Akira Kurosawa kind of films. It's like 50s. It's like 1960s black and white Japanese samurai movie. There was another one or two that I was gonna get that I was looking at. I think that's the thing with Amazon. You had like you get a couple. You had like 4 or 5 things. Next thing you know, you're like $100. So I was trying not to do that, especially since I'm trying to get this
Yeah.
Warhammer stuff coming up. I didn't want to spend too much money because I ordered some
Yeah.
other stuff too. But there was another movie that I came really close to getting, but then I saw that one and it looked like a better movie. The other one I almost got. It's called like it's I think it's getting ready to come out. It's oh yeah, and that's Criterion Collection too. So Criterion Collection is like fucking mint.
Yeah.
Um, it's a 2K restoration, so that's pretty sweet. Uh, it's one of his later movies that they have that I almost got. That's on sale right now called Kagemushi, or something like that. It's actually a color. It's from like the 1980s. It's one of his later films. It's in color, not black and white, and it's
Mhm.
actually I don't know how involved they were in it. I think they helped maybe co-direct or help produce. So it's a Kurosawa film with assistance by Francis Ford Coppola, who did The Godfather and fuck, what's it called? Apocalypse Now and George
Mm.
Lucas. Both of them are very heavily inspired by Akira Kurosawa movies.
Yeah,
Uh, especially George Lucas. You don't get Star Wars without Akira Kurosawa movies.
pretty much.
And some of the characters are
Pretty much.
directly. The whole reason why I bought Hidden Fortress is because he says that's the movie that mostly inspired Star Wars.
Yeah.
Some of the characters, and you could clearly tell, oh, this character inspired Princess Leia. These characters inspired Han and Chewie. There's a Hidden Fortress. There's an older guy he was like a former general who's like, oh, that's where Jedi come from. It's pretty simple. The,
You can
the
see the
the
resemblance.
the plot of the movie, maybe they have to smuggle the princess from and keep her from getting captured, so you kind of get that, but the rest of the movie, there's a lot of other parts of that movie that don't translate to Star Wars.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but yeah, so I
Good
definitely
old George.
mhm. so I definitely I probably want to get that one eventually. I know there's a handful of other classic Kurosawa films that I probably will get before that. Like I definitely need to get like Seven Samurai, and there's a couple others that the names are escaping right now. That, but I know if I pull up a list of classic Akira Kurosawa movies and classic samurai movies that will be there. And I think Harakiri is on that list too. That one, I don't know if you're familiar with Harakiri, but it's one of the forms of like suicide that they like the samurai would have to do. So there's
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
fuck, what's the other one called?
Oh,
It's slipping my tongue now.
fuck, I can't think of it. I know what you're talking
Seppuku,
about though.
seppuku,
Yeah, that's it.
seppuku or seppuku. So I don't exactly know the differences between them, but I believe seppuku is
Sabuku is the one with the katana where you.
well, that's the one where they use a knife and they cut themselves. Harakiri,
Yeah.
they use a full length katana and stab themselves and cut their gut.
Okay.
But
All right.
this, I think the main difference is the circumstances of when you would do one or the other. I want to say seppuku is like an example of when you would use that would be, let's say you and your army defeated this other lord and his army and you conquered his lands, and so you're gonna have the lord and his generals kill themselves and let them do it, but let them do it like honorably themselves, and so that would be seppuku. Harakiri, which the plot of the movie is these guys are trying to get this other guy to commit harakiri, is where like you would take like one of their samurai, like a Ronin or something, a master samurai, and that's his like he breaks a law or something. That's his punishment is he has to kill himself. It's not like a it's not as ceremonious and not like an honorable thing. It's like your punishment is execution by killing yourself.
Jesus.
And that one like I saw there's like a diagram or something where like seppuku was like the guy and he has a knife and he's holding it with two hands, whereas harakiri he's holding a sword with a like a towel like by the middle of the blade and has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the trailer for the movie looked pretty interesting. Like the whole plot is these guys want this Ronin to kill himself. They're gonna try and have to force him to have to kill himself or something. And apparently there's some
God
there's
damn.
a couple of cool duels, which that's what makes the samurai movie some dope duels.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Samurai duels are fucking like top notch,
Mm-hmm.
dude. And I
Um,
wish we could get like a modern like samurai movie.
yeah, I'd have to. I feel like there has been. I'd have to look and see. I mean,
Yeah.
there definitely is a style thing to like the 50s and 60s samurai movies that's different from what would be today. And and there are like a big example that you could do a
Yeah.
direct comparison of would be I don't know if you remember the movie, hearing about the movie that Keanu Reeves was in called 47 Ronin. So that's based off of like a uh an older uh there's an older version of that movie
Yeah.
that I don't remember if I watched it or not. It's actually two movies. I think I watched it. I don't remember. I watched both of them like back to back, and I remember them being very different.
Yeah.
The main plot between them is that's the same as that there's 47 Ronin who revenge their master. The fucking one with Keanu Reeves has like mythical Japanese creatures are real, and he's from like he was living with these people who live like in a mountain who have smoke powers or something and do a weird humming thing and make their swords. Whereas in the other one, they go to a village that has swordsmiths and get their swords.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an okay movie.
I just remember like watching the trailer for it and being like, "Oh shit, Keanu Reeves, my man's back." And then
That was
I'm
from a
like,
weird era of
"What the fuck is
Keanu.
that? Is that a giant stone samurai?"
There,
Like,
see, that's the thing with Keanu that I think a lot of people forgot about is because right now he's in like a renaissance of his career where he's doing like John Wick and like everyone's like, oh shit, Keanu's in this movie. Oh man, there was a period between The Matrix and now where he did some low budget weird shit, and
yeah.
that was one of them. That's like something super forgetful and weird, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he's always been gone like back and forth between like doing goofy roles and like
Well,
serious
well,
roles.
he
So,
well, you say that because you're thinking of like Bill and Ted and shit like
yeah.
comedies that he was in, and then when he started to do like I said, he's had like there's like weird eras to him. There's like the 80s and 90s was like Bill and Ted, and he did fucking Speed. It's a fucking awesome movie that I need to get.
Yeah,
Um,
speech.
and what was the fucking other one where they're like skydiving or something? Then like a couple other movies, and then like he does the
Mm,
Matrix, and it's like, oh
yeah.
shit, motherfucking Keanu Reeves, fucking Matrix, Keanu Reeves dodging bullets and shit. And then I think there was some shit that happened in his personal life. And he kind of got out of acting for a little while, and then he came back and he was doing shit like 47 Ronin, and there's a couple other like weird things that he did that were like just low budget, probably not that great movies.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, motherfucking John Wick rolling up in his fucking sweet ass car and his dog with his dog, killing motherfuckers, and now he's back, baby.
Yep. Pretty much. Which I mean, Matrix, like I can't even really consider that like a serious movie. That's still like it's goofy. Like,
The
let's be
second and
honest.
third
Like,
one, the first one is so different tonally. It's
yeah,
not as like on its own shit, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Like the first one was like, hey, we're going out on doing some like weird shit, but it's a serious movie. And then the second and third one were just kind of,
they get out there.
yeah. They
Well,
were like, okay, like we
fucking
did this, but let's make it weirder.
well, fucking Matrix lore is weird. Like if you actually like get into it,
Yeah,
because I didn't get into it, but like I watched a couple of videos that explain some of it. So I've like watched. I don't know if you ever watched that anthology movie, The Animatrix. That is, it's like a handful of Matrix shorts that are all done by different anime studios, and some of them are
hmm
actually like really good. But Matrix lore is weird. So just to kind of take a tangent on the Matrix, one of the few interesting things I know. You remember in like the second or third movie there was the albino twins who like
yeah,
did some weird ghost kind of shit.
yeah,
So in the Matrix, I don't know if you remember there's that scene where he's talking to like the architect or whoever who created the Matrix, and there's like all the screens with all the different Neos and stuff on it. So
yeah,
and he's there's like talking about how like whenever like he comes close to defeating the Matrix, it resets, and they're on like however many resets. Well, some of those resets in the middle, got kind of wild, and one of them, instead of it just being like a recreation of the normal world, everyone was like vampires, werewolves, and ghosts and shit. And that's where the albino twins come from. They're remnants from that reset. That's why they're ghosts.
Mm.
Because
What
like
the fuck?
one of the Matrix resets, everyone was like ghosts and werewolves and vampires and shit like that. And so that's where the albino twins come from.
That
They're like leftover
explains.
remnants from that, like leftover code or something.
That explains a lot now.
It explains a lot and nothing at all.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, that's like
huh?
the exact like statement right there. It explains a lot, but it explains nothing at all. Like
And there's like some other weird shit like that. But yeah, I just remember like, yeah, Matrix Lore is weird.
Matrix is just it's a badass universe, but goddamn, dude, it's weird as fuck.
Hmm.
Like it's so fucking weird. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, and I did mention that I got a couple other things with that Amazon order. I got a Gigant Volume 10, the manga. It's the final volume. Interesting to see how that ends. The almost hentai series.
The
It's not.
borderline hentai series.
It's pretty damn borderline, bro. It skirts that line hard, like that's fucking. But we'll get to see how the. I don't remember if they finished fighting Satan or not, or I think that's how it's gonna end. It's fucking. Yeah, I need to refresh myself on what's going on because the volume actually came out like a couple weeks ago and I didn't pre-order it, but I ordered it today and I also got Blood on the Tracks Volume 12, which I'm excited for that. That series is so fucking good.
Yeah. Shit.
Psychological horror, baby. Uh,
I love some psychological horror though, man. That shit's
like very realistic psychological horror. Like there's
yeah.
not like demons and ghosts and shit and vampires and werewolves like the
It's like on
Matrix.
that. This is gonna hit you deep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Shit, dude. Yeah, I've heard bits and pieces about that. That's a ride.
Oh yeah, and I think it's still ongoing. I'm not really sure. Um, I am. I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes and like how does like where does this story go? Like how does it end? I am very curious. Uh, because I feel like it's getting close to the climax. Like I feel like maybe if it hasn't ended yet, they're probably like getting near it very soon in Japan because they're like a couple volumes ahead. I think they're on like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely very interesting to see where that goes. There's, and like because I mean, there's a lot of ways it can go. Um, but I'll have to see wait and see with that. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of most of the topics I got. There are some other movies that this could be something maybe we talk about like with collections and stuff like future plans for collections. But
Mm.
there's so many goddamn movies that I want to add to my collection because like I've been kind of working on it like slowly over the past couple of years, but it's like every couple of months I'll buy like a handful of movies, and so it's growing but slowly. But then whenever I like think about like movies that I need to add to it, I just like it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like some movies I'm just saying like fuck it, I'm just gonna watch it on HBO Max because I know it's gonna be a long time before I get to it. Like one of the movies I really want to add. That's yeah, I guess it kind of goes with like the war movies and stuff. Is Lawrence of Arabia.
Mm.
That's a fucking long movie, bro. But it's pretty fucking good. I watched. There's actually it's like 3 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. It's it's like a Lord of the Rings
Oh,
extended edition, bro. And it
God damn.
like the version of it that's on HBO Max that's that long has an intermission like 2.5 hours in, 2 hours in or so like that. There's like an intermission part. But like and like I was watching and I was thinking like man, they just don't really make movies like this. Like it's such a big epic movie that like this vast like long epic story that like they just don't make movies like that. And like cause
No.
that's like one of the genres that I want to. There's like a bunch of movies like that I want to get from that era. Because there's like this big era where like in the history of movies like the first obviously the very first like movies and stuff were like just like short films and like uh just like the very first movie was a fucking recording of a train going down the tracks. That was like the first thing
Mm.
shown on projector or whatever. That which funny story about that when they were showing that off, there was like people in the tent and they were watching it, and they thought the train was actually because they'd never seen it before. They thought like a train was actually coming through a window, and they all got up and ran away, got scared that a train was going to run them over. And
Shit.
it's just like a video of like the camera on the tripod pointed at the train as it's coming down the tracks, and people are like, "Oh fuck, train coming!" and then fucking dipped and ran. Motherfuckers, because they just never seen a fucking video.
Yeah.
Imagine being there, having no concept of videos and like recording visuals. Like you understand that you could record, maybe you understand you could record audio and like listen to like records on a Vitrola and shit like that, and like, but then and like people can
Sort of
communicate
visual piece.
maybe over audio, over like over radio frequencies that might have been around, but like to see like fucking moving video of like people like just doing stuff and like stuff happening, that had to be fucking insane, bro.
Yeah. That would leave you completely mind fucked
Yeah,
back then. You'd just be like, what the fuck is happening?
but anyway, like it went from that to like a lot of the early films in like the 20s and 30s and 40s are like shorter. They're all pretty shorter, like pretty basic stories and stuff. But then eventually you get to this era where like Lawrence of Arabia and like Cleopatra and all these like crazy big epic stories, and they're like 3 4 hour fucking movies. There's like one or two that there's like this one movie that I heard of that I think it's a French movie about Napoleon or like some of the wars that and battles that Napoleon fought, and it's technically it's like 2 or 3 movies, but it's like 6 or 7 hours long. It's like one. It's like Lord of the Rings before Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Shit.
forget what it's called. There's one of the guys on YouTube that I like to watch every once in a while. He talked about it, and it's like a fucking 6 hour movie, bro. And there's like thousands of extras in the movie, and like individual like there'll be scenes where they're filming from like an airplane. There's like thousands of people reenacting a battle and shit, all in costume, and they just don't do that anymore. That today that would just all be CG.
Yeah, everything today nowadays is just all CG. Like even fucking clothes at this point, it's now CG.
Yeah, like, and what's crazy
It's
is if they got the money, you can't tell. You almost can't tell. I,
yeah,
I remember because one of the movies I was thinking, I was like, man, the closest thing to that we've had in recent histories, well, was for one Lord of the Rings, and the other thing was Infinity War and Endgame. That was kind of the closest thing, like this crazy big epic story, and like just all this shit happening, and like you just said about the CG, they didn't have matching uniforms when they filmed to tell up the time traveling scenes in Endgame. They're wearing all unique costumes. And then before the movie came out, they were like, "We should give them matching uniforms. Let's see what that looks like." And they did it, and they're like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And now they all have matching uniforms,
yep,
which is why none of the toys for a long time had those uniforms
yeah.
because all the toys were being released.
And then we're just like, we're gonna change this up real fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I didn't fucking notice.
I didn't either. Like that shit was done like clean,
And that's the
dude.
thing is like they already like enhanced the outfits with CG, so it looked the same. It looked normal, but it was 100% CG.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that shit's fucking wild, dude. But yeah, I do have a couple things I want to show off. I don't think I might have mentioned them
Hmm.
on a podcast before, but I'm not going to go into super depth just because of time and everything.
That and we are going
Like,
to do coming up like an episode on just like our collections and stuff probably, or some like collection videos. So
yeah,
you should kind of show it off, but like you don't need to go like in
yeah.
depth or anything.
Just gotta give you guys a little tease and everything. Some holy grails of my collection, pretty much. Oh fuck! I forgot how high up it is.
Look at
Well,
that
they
tummy.
are.
Look at that pregnancy belly.
Oh, yeah, son. I put work into that.
I'm putting a couple pizzas into that.
Goddamn right. Maybe a couple burgers as well, bro. You never know. So
Thank God we didn't see your butt crack.
no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do all that. I ain't that. But I guess I'll start off with a small one. This one is actually the one that I'm more proud of, and that is the Elder Scrolls anthology. I'll actually
Oh
probably,
yeah. I think you haven't talked about this on the video, but we've talked about it. That's
yeah.
like got like arena and Daggerfall and all that shit in it.
It has all the main titled
Mm-hmm.
games in it. Let me see. I can
I
actually
remember when that
probably,
came out. I almost bought it.
yeah. Oh, shit. Dude, they pack it down tight so whenever you get it, which is actually like really appreciated. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie. But yeah, it comes with like all that. It's a nice little booklet with all those. I'm not gonna go super in depth with it, but Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, and then I think
Skyrim
yeah, Skyrim as well. Yeah.
and like all
Okay.
the DLC.
Yep, all the DLC for pretty much all of them. I mean, fuck.
Obviously the original ones didn't have DLC, but
Yeah, yeah, the first two didn't. Just the Morrowind, Oblivion, and obviously Skyrim.
mm-hmm.
But hands down, my favorite fucking series of all time. If y'all haven't figured out by now.
Right.
But this is the big one. Um, this is definitely one thing I will never ever get rid of. The Fallout mini nuke
Nice.
that comes with all the original games. It doesn't come with Fallout 4 because I think it came out right
Yeah, I
before
think that came
Fallout
out
4, but it does
before.
have a slot in there where you can put a disc in it,
Nice.
and obviously all the DLCs except for Fallout 4. But even like it's got a little button on here. I think it's like yeah, it's right there. You just press it and it makes the fucking mini nuke whistle and then explosion. Super fucking sick.
Nice.
But yeah, unfortunately these I didn't get at the time, which is actually I'm glad I didn't get them at the time of release because they were way more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And the this one did come a little bit damaged, but like overall, this one is like in pristine condition other than this little dent right
Mm-hmm.
here. But yeah, these you can definitely expect to see in the video of showing off the collection and everything. Um,
You should definitely. I mean, I don't know how much. Try and set it up to where like it can be seen behind you, something like that.
oh yeah, no, I don't have any room for. I've tried. I have
Yeah.
definitely fucking
Yeah, you'd
tried.
have to like rearrange stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe one day whenever I can get like rearranging and shit like that. But yeah, this right here and the Elder Scrolls anthology are like my fucking holy grails of
Mm-hmm.
my gaming collection.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
trying to. I mean, the closest thing I have to something like that was something like I really wanted for a long time and eventually got, as far as gaming, is you might I don't think you can see it in like before I rearrange my setup, but right there I have the Middle Earth Shadow of War Mithril Edition statue, which is
Hell
fucking
yeah.
massive. And that was something that like I really wanted for a long time when it came out, and then I just happened to be able to get it on clearance one day for like $100 with the game and everything. So that was pretty
Fuck
sweet.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just
Shit.
collect so many. I mean, to be honest, most of the stuff I collect isn't really particularly expensive. I mean, obviously, like the Warhammer stuff's kind of expensive, and I'm kind of getting into
Yeah.
that. And like the Gundams, like obviously you see like behind me I have a bunch of Gundams. Um, this one right here was one on my list for a long time. That's a perfect grade, the perfect grade Exia with the lighting kit. I mean that's the most expensive one by far. That whole setup was like 300 over like just over $300 for all that. That and the LED kit. But I mean, and there's a couple other ones that I really want to get, and like some of the ones I have, the ones I like. Most of the ones I have are ones that I really wanted. I need to get some like little lights that I could stick in there so you can kind of see them better. Um, like that one right there is one that like a lot of people have. That's a good one to have. The mega
Yeah.
size original Gundam, because it's actually very easy to put together. It's not that many pieces. It's really just like a collector's thing that they did. It was like I think they did for like the 30th or 35th. I think it was the 30th anniversary, or maybe either that or the 35th. I forget. I still have the box. It's like the 30th anniversary. They released like a mega size, like way bigger than they normally make them. I mean, it's bigger than the fucking perfect grade, which is before that was the largest scale you could get. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's obviously like certain manga series I would love to have finished collections of, other than like one or two volumes, like Vagabond right over here. I only have the first two Vizbigs. I'd love to have the rest of those. Same with like Blade of the Immortal. I got like the first four. Chainsaw Man. I just have the first couple. There's a bunch of series I have like a couple. Fucking lame. Only have the first two.
Oh yeah.
There's like 10 of those. Some like Dungeons and Dragons books that I'd love to have. Some of the older ones that are a little harder to come by, at least at a reasonable price. Um, I mean, I did treat myself and get all those 3 and 3.5 edition books. That was something I really wanted for a long time. To have like some 3.5 books, because people, that's the thing people always argue about, is what's better, 3.5 or fifth. And
Yeah.
I just would never knew, because I never played third or third or 3.5 or four or any of those older editions, and now I have more books than I will ever need for fucking third edition. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously like if I wouldn't have got it, and I bought this because of you, and you should know what it is because it's over my shoulder. The Godzilla Criterion collection of like 15 movies that you were like, oh hey, this is coming out in like a week. It's on Amazon pre-order and it's like $100 off. And I was like, oh shit, we getting it? And you're like, yeah, I'm getting it. And I'm like, all right, pre-order now. And then you never bought it,
Nope, I never did.
which I'm glad I got it at the time, because it was like a pre-order sale for like, that was like a really good price.
Yeah, it was a really good price. And right. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I had for tonight, really.
Yeah, I don't think I had much else. We did get let's see what we got coming up. So this is gonna be Sunday, so Wednesday, hopefully we if we record it this weekend, we'll have a Way Out part 2 on the way, and then back to the regular scheduled podcast and all that.
Yep.
And hopefully after this weekend I'll be ready to start streaming again. I gotta Once I finish fucking Syndicate, bro. It's fair game. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
and stream
buddy.
a couple different games. Um uh yeah, that's pretty much it. Just everyone make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our other
Uh,
channels.
Follow us in our socials down below, and also leave in the comments your favorite Pokemon
There you go.
from. There you go.
Your favorite
Let us know what your
Pokemongs.
favorite Pokemon is, and if you're into Warhammer, what you rolling with right now. Let us know
Mm-hmm.
down below, and we'll get back to you on it. Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you for watching episode 7, peeps, and we'll catch you next week.
Ooga ooga.